I'm Richard Clarke. I record these talks every day as a way to deepen my inquiry. Listen each day and deepen your own practice. Welcome. I'm reviewing and commenting on the book Talks with Sri Ramana Maharshi. Today is from Talk 467, Part 2. Questioner. Can actions take place spontaneously without individual effort? Should we not cook our food in order to eat it later? Maharshi. Atman acts through the ego. All actions are due to efforts only. A sleeping child is fed by its mother. The child eats food without being wide awake, and then denies having taken food in sleep. However, the mother knows what happened. Similarly, the Jnani acts unawares. Others see him act, but he does not know it himself. Owing to fear of him, wind blows, etc. That is the order of things. He ordains everything, and the universe acts accordingly, yet he does not know. Therefore, he is called the Great Doer. Every embodied being, Ahankari, is bound by niyama. Even Brahma cannot transgress it. This devotee later explained the significance of his questions. He hears Sri Bhagavan say that the world goes on and the individual needs are met by divine will, but he finds that Sri Bhagavan wakes up the ashramites at about 4 a.m. to cut vegetables for the day's curry. He wanted to have the doubt cleared for his own benefit, and the question was not meant for discussion. In this dialogue, the questioner is grappling with the idea of whether actions can occur spontaneously without individual effort, using the practical example of cooking food. The questioner is trying to reconcile Sri Ramana Maharshi's teachings on divine will with the apparent need for personal effort in daily tasks. The Maharshi begins his response by emphasizing that the self, or Atman, acts through the ego. This means that while the true self is untouched and remains pure awareness, actions in the world happen through the medium of the ego, which is the sense of individual identity and doership. Actions, therefore, appear to be the result of individual effort, but in reality, they are rooted in the deeper functioning of the self. To illustrate this, Ramana Maharshi uses the analogy of a sleeping child who is fed by its mother. The child is unaware of being fed, yet the act of eating still occurs. Similarly, a Jnani, one who has realized the self, may appear to act in the world, but they are not personally involved in these actions. There are duties, niyamas, that must be observed, even for a Jnani. The Jnani operates from a state of pure awareness, where the sense of personal doership is absent. Others may observe the Jnani performing actions, but the Jnani themselves remain unaware of these actions in the sense that they do not identify with them as a doer. Ramana further explains that all actions in the universe are part of a divine order, which is beyond the control of the individual ego. Even Brahma, the creator, is bound by this divine order and cannot act outside of it. The self, which is the true essence of all beings, is the great doer. Yet the self remains untouched and unaware of the individual actions. This paradox highlights the non-dual nature of reality, where the self is both the source of all action and simultaneously beyond all actions. Ramana says to let it all unfold as it will. The questioner later clarified that his question stemmed from observing that despite the Maharshi's teachings on divine will, there are still daily activities that Ramana does, like waking the ashramites and preparing food. Ramana's response shows that these actions are part of the natural order and divine will, yet for the realized being, they do not create a sense of personal involvement or doership. The Jnani acts spontaneously, in harmony with the divine will, without the ego claiming ownership of these actions. This understanding reconciles the apparent need for personal effort with the deeper truth of non-doership in the state of self-realization. Ramana taught to just let it unfold as it will. There's a Zen story about Hotai that I think illustrates this. Once he was asked by another Zen master, "What is the significance of Zen?" Hotai immediately plopped his sack down on the ground in answer. He said, "Empty it out." Then asked the other, "What is the actualization of Zen?" At once, Hotai swung the sack over his shoulder and continued on his way, saying, "Carry it out." So, know yourself and be always free and at peace. In 40 verses on reality, Ramana Maharshi explains the nature of the self, the ultimate reality, and self-inquiry. My new book, with my comments and inquiry questions, opens these teachings up and brings them into your practice and experience. Available now from Amazon. Link in the video description. These videos bring Ramana's teachings into your direct experience. Click subscribe to see more. Click thumbs up to like, and send questions and start a dialogue with a comment.